As we all know, Nintendo just recently came out with the new DLC tracks coming out in Wave 5 in a few more days, which is I think it's this Wednesday actually. But as you all know, Nintendo has done some sneaky shit and not always tell us everything that they're updating, because they always show us only the tracks. And I think that is more the interesting part of the game, because in Wave 3, we didn't know that they was gonna make adjustments in game outside tracks. For example, you know how they nerfed target shocking? They also nerfed Waluigi Wiggler's invincibility stats, and they also buffed the Teddy Buggy's invincibility stats as well. So they also did this for Wave 4 as well, when they made changes for characters, you know, like they buffed Link, they buffed Mario, Luigi, they buffed Daisy, Peach, they buffed the Inkling. I think that's it. Oh, the babies, like Baby Mario, they also buffed him. I think those are I think those changes, in my opinion, are better than the tracks that we get. It's like good quality of life changes. So what I decided is that I had a wish list that I would like to discuss and give my 2 cents what could, or it could, make the game worse. But I just wanted to share my thoughts on what could be better for the game, and so without further ado, let's talk about it. First up on my list, I want to talk about time trials. So obviously in 8D we can only race against one ghost, but if you guys didn't know, in Mario Kart 7 you can race up to 7 other ghosts and race against them on the same time. So I was thinking maybe in the newest update that's coming out this Wednesday, they can do the same thing for 8 Deluxe and make us race against 11 ghosts instead of just one. I think it would be a cool feature. I would like that, to see how you can improve it where you mess up on specific spots of the track. I think that would be a really cool feature that they can add. Another thing about time trials that they can also add is add save states, or like some type of training mode for specific sections of the track. So for example, let's say on Bangkok, right? You want to practice section 3 when you want to do the super bounce, but obviously if you fail the super bounce at the end, you have to restart all the way back at the start, and you know, it can get kind of annoying. You have to waste like a minute and like maybe 30 seconds to try to get back to this one specific spot of the course. So I think a save state will be a nice feature, so you can restart at a specific spot on the track to like practice your line. I think it'd be a cool idea. Another feature that I would also like to come to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a spectator mode. Now listen, it's not the spectator mode that you're thinking of when it comes to like, you know, joining a worldwide or something like that. Not like that. I'm talking about another person can spectate, they can see enemy items, enemy positions, you know, the names, you know, of like the person that they're viewing. Something like, you know, like Call of Duty or Overwatch, even Pokemon Unite, like that type of spectating mode where like commentators can see exactly what's going on. Because many of you might have known the biggest LAN event just happened this year in May, and it was like the best thing ever. So I think we could give some quality of life to, you know, commentators, so they can give like more information on what's happening on the track, so instead of like giving like an educated guess like on what happened. I think those would be cool. And another thing that they can do is add an item spy that only the spectators can use, or commentators, just like how 8U did. There was an item spy, but it was on the Wii U screen. Maybe they can have their own item spy that they can have, you know, and the races don't have. Maybe that could be a good idea, maybe not, because it could be a gift and a curse. Because for example, someone in bottom spots bagging, they have shock, and then all of a sudden when the commentators see that, they be like, oh, blah 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 has shock, and then, you know, and then everybody hears it and then everyone stops. Or same thing with the blue shell. Like, it could be a gift, it could be a curse, but we'll never know unless it happens. Now this one, fellas, hear me out. This is a wish I want to happen in this game. For this one, this is stolen from Mario Party Superstars and like the Smash series. So you know how on the retro track we have like a remix version of the song? What if they added the OG music to the game? Like instead of hearing, you know, the remix Wario Stadium, we can hear the actual DS version of the game. I think that'd be a nice feature. And another feature I would like to, since we're on that same topic, so let's say we're playing on Sherbetland, a good example. So you playing on Sherbetland, you get the OG soundtrack, you get the OG sound effects that's specifically on the GameCube version of the game. So you get like the retro roulette item spin sounds, you get the OG star sounds, you get the OG, the thunder when it happens, like OG everything that was on that game specifically. And same for like Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart DS, N64, and the SNES one, like all of them all have a retro sound effects specifically on that course. I think that'd be nice. This one, y'all might not agree on with me, but I do think it is time for some item balance changes in this game. Not all of them, some of them are fine as is, but I think some items can be adjusted. For example, the first one I want adjusted, fellas, there's no way anyone is happy getting triple bananas and then getting redded through them. It is the most frustrating thing ever to have 3 bananas revolve around you and you still get redded. It makes no sense. I think what they should do with that item, either make them spin faster around you, or they can go back to the N64 days where 3 of them like appear behind you. I think one of those two are like would make that item way better than what it is. Another item balance change I would like is to get rid of second place corn. So hear me out on this one. As you all know, or some of you might not know, there is a 30-second rule in this game. At the start of a race, if you are in a bottom spot or top spot, it is impossible for the first 30 seconds to get a boomerang, to get the golden mushroom, bullet bill, shark, golden mushrooms, I think I said golden mushrooms, What else? Piranha plants, and I think a super horn as well. I'm not too sure about that. I think you get a horn, but regardless, you get the point I'm trying to make. I think after 30 seconds of the race, you should not be able to get a second place coin. I think it's just so tilting. Get it a coin in second place. Like a person in first can get like a bomb in front of you. You get the worst item in second place. However, let's say if they did make that, then it will make second place extremely threatening to first place. So what they should do if they did that with the coin, if nerf the item, the res that they get in second place, because it'll be too strong in second place to get nothing but red shells. Now here's the thing else too. I don't think they can nerf the shocks in this game, because what if they like nerf the shock that it makes it only to 1 like per race, then everyone is at the mercy of the person that pulls a shock. I don't think that'll be a good change. So I think the shocks are fine as is in this game, and that's about it. Another item nerf I would want to happen is fireballs. Fellas, I know we all hate the fireballs. There's no way anyone likes getting hit with a fireball. So what I would like to do with the fireballs, there's 2 things. Make the maximum shots from the fireballs go to whatever it is, I think it's 12 to 6 shots, but it still works as it is, but you have less fireballs. Or they can either keep the same amount of fireballs, but they no longer bounce off walls. I think one of those 2 things could work out, because the amount of like fire you're throwing at somebody and bounces off walls is just insane. There's no need for all of that. And speaking of bouncing off walls, I think they should nerf the green shells as well. The amount of times you get smart bounced because the green shell bounces off the walls like 6 times, it's absurd. It's actually kind of annoying. I think what they can do with that is go from, I think it's 6 bounces that the green shells do off walls to 3. I think that would be more fair. And that's about it for all the item balance changes that I have in mind. Here's another wish I would like to have in the game. So we all, well, maybe not all, but in Mario Kart Tour, they have 3 different versions of the track. We only get the normal and mirror, but in Tour, they have a trick version, a reverse mode, and a reverse trick mode. You know how sick it would be if they add one of those features into this game, like a reverse mode on every single track? And we're not talking about mirrored. Mirrored is just, it's mirrored. We're talking about like you go on Moo Moo Meadows and you drive the other direction and you go basically backwards. I think that would be sick. Like, it would add so many new ways to play this game if they did that. All right, fellas, and that's about it for my wish list. Now I know some of you guys are gonna ask, am I interested in more characters or more track? Not really. I'm just like a Daisy / Yoshi degenerate. I really personally don't care who they add or what tracks that we get. Honestly, we get what we get. I'm not too worried about like what kind of new tracks they add. But other than that, that's pretty much it for my wish list. As always, thank you guys for watching. If you have anything to say, let me know in the comments what y'all think or what y'all want as a wish list before Wave 5 comes out. All right, fellas, I'm out. Thanks for watching. Peace.